Texas residents and businesses are feeling the financial fallout from deadly winter storms last month. The state's largest and oldest electric power cooperative filed for bankruptcy protection on Monday after the Texas grid operator hit the company with a nearly $2 billion bill. The severe cold weather knocked out power to millions, causing a massive spike in demand statewide. Texas has a free market approach to energy, meaning prices are not fixed as they are in many other parts of the country. For more on this, I want to bring in Heather Zichal. She is the president and CEO of the American Clean Power Association. She's also the former deputy assistant to the president for energy and climate change in the Obama administration and has worked closely with President Biden's new climate team. Heather, welcome. Great to have you with us. So residents and businesses are dealing with a lot from the winter storm's aftermath, and there are plenty of fingers being pointed all around. So who do you believe is to blame for the power failure in Texas?
Well, first and foremost, we have to realize what happened in Texas was an extreme weather event. The infrastructure, whether you're talking about power or water, the infrastructure in Texas is built for 110 degrees, not for 10 degrees. So we saw a failure across the existing infrastructure. And while I think we could spend a lot of time thinking about who's at fault, what we really need to do is turn that corner and figure out how do we as an industry and how do we as policymakers work together to ensure an accident like this never happens again.
So what were the lessons learned then, and how can the state prevent another power grid failure?
So I think we've learned a lot about weatherizing our equipment. I think we've got to acknowledge that with a changing climate, these extreme weather events are going to be more and more likely. So we need to plan for the unpredicted. We also have important lessons to learn about what we can do to ensure the transmission and the grid itself is operating and delivering that power. We need to focus on a diversified energy mix that includes storage as a core component of our broader and holistic energy picture. And I think we will continue to learn from the hearings both in the state and in Washington, D.C. about how we can collectively work together, as I said, to ensure this doesn't happen again.
Now, you make the point that, Texas doesn't have a power problem. It was an extreme weather event. But of course, extreme weather is not going away anytime soon. And fossil fuels power 79% of Texas's electricity. Would clean energy help in a similar weather crisis?
Well, I think what we've seen from Clean Power is, we showed up. The bulk of the challenges that the residents and businesses of Texas saw actually came from natural gas. So I think that's an important lesson to learn. Like we are, Clean Power is here. It's reliable, and I think it needs to play an increasingly large role in providing clean energy to not only Texans but to Americans across the country.
And to that end, you have worked closely with President Biden's new climate team. How will that team promote clean energy to states that are still depending on fossil fuels, such as Texas?
Well, I think the Biden administration sees a real key opportunity to tackle two big challenges. The first is economic recovery and job creation, and the second is climate change. And through their investments in Build Back Better, the decisions that they're making across the agencies to enhance permitting for renewable projects on federal lands and waters, I think they're pushing from all levers of government, and they recognize that we need holistic responses. They recognize that the jobs we are creating are real and high-paying jobs and the kind of jobs that Americans are increasingly wanting. And they're also recognizing that more and more customers are demanding clean energy. So I believe these issues can be a win-win, not only for the Biden administration, but for the American people as well.
All right. Well, Heather Zichal, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.